So should you use a staffing agency when you're trying to be independent? I would say most definitely, because at times when you are trying to get contracts, when you're trying to get work in, it's slow, or when you're trying to build your product, it might not be selling. So if you're a skilled tradesman, you can always jump in and get some good money dealing with some of them. Now, some of them be on some BS, honestly. But I have about, I say, three that I network with, and one that I signed up with a few days ago, and I think their benefits are great. So I'm gonna leave the description inside. I'm gonna leave the link inside of the description so that way you can check it out. But I feel you should do that, so that way when times are slow, you can be able to jump in that market. Now, I will say this: invest in your certs. So invest in your AWS certs. If you're doing Flux core, invest in your Flux core. If you're doing stick, invest in your stick. So that way you can get better money when you're dealing with these staffing agencies too, because a lot of individuals won't invest in their certs. I don't know why, but they won't do it. So if you have your certs, or if you have your rigging card, or your ironworking card, or your OSHA 10, that's a good small one to invest in. OSHA 10 is a good one. Your OSHA 10 and your AWS, to me, I would say invest in those two, because it's showing that you got safety and you've been orientated, and you're familiar with the field and with construction. Now, there's a staffing agency called ULG Skilled Trades, and I think they're out of Indianapolis. I'm going to leave the link in there. I think you should check them out. So if you're trying to be independent, they have work all over the U.S. And so they'll show you jobs in your area that you might not be aware of. You see what I'm saying? So I would say sign up to some of them. You see what I'm saying? And make sure when you put on there that you just want to be part-time. And just be real, and they'll say, hey, what shift you want or what you willing to do. So that way you be like, okay, you can kind of pick your schedule, and they'll call you according to, the information that you put down. So that way you can be more flexible, you know what I mean, and being independent and still doing your own thing, and still, paying bills, because we still got bills to pay. And I know some probably still got loans, or some, them and invested money to get their rig set up, or whatever the situation might be. So you need money coming in. I get it. But I would most definitely strongly say that, don't try to get a regular job if you can. You know what I mean? Try to get you a good part-time job that's paying good money, that is kind of like being on a regular job, but better. You see what I'm saying? Because if you got your certs, you can be flexible. You can get better money than you'll get working at a factory, or working at some of these steel and erection shops who got their little tops and limits now. They don't want to pay you so much because of, it's a revolving door. And if you got skilled trades, a skilled trade, and you're good at what you do, you shouldn't have to settle. And so, to me personally, is what I told one company one time. I'm going to share what I told the guy. The guy said, hey man, I see you want to start off at 25. It looks kind of high to me, doing this fabrication job. Let me give you, 22. I said, nah, man, I want 25. He was like, well, I want to see what you got first. I said, well, my certs, my years of experience, and my resume shows you what I got. I said, if you don't like my work ethics, I said, then once you hire me and you don't like it after a few hours or a day, you can just fire me. I said, but I'm not coming and punching no clock unless you're giving me what I asked for. You see what I'm saying? Because I know what I'm worth. And then once he decided to do that, oh man, he was happy. He was like, oh man, boy, I thought, I've been getting these dudes that really, it's kind of hard. So you have to prove yourself sometime, but it's very worth it to have your certs and invest in yourself. And I would say check these staffing agency out. Get you a couple of them. That way you have you about 3 in the area. Depends on where you at. If you're in a bigger city, it is really grand for you, because you have many different ones to pick. And then think about this. This is the key to it. This is really gonna get you, because you think, oh man, I gotta go through this and this and this with them. If you're skilled, and you're skilled in your welding and in your carpentry and your ironworking, whatever that you do, you are the asset to them. You see what I'm saying? I done had them call me like, hey, we need people like yesterday. People ain't showing up. People get a check this week, won't come up the next week. So it's all type of situations. So if you stay ready and you got your resume together, you got everything, put down like it's supposed to be, then you can get some of that money, man. So I would most definitely say jump on some of those staffing agencies and get that check. versus trying to get a real job. Because if you try to go get these jobs working at some of these companies, to me, especially if you had already outgrew working for somebody, then it's going to be real oppressive. You trying to get this job and you got this independent, this entrepreneur, this business owner spirit. It's gonna it's gonna hurt you. You know what I mean? And you might have to do it if if it comes to it, come to it. You know what I mean? Do what you gotta do to take care of your family. Now, I'm not saying nothing like that, but if you can and you got the opportunity, network with these staffing agencies, because they can also help feed your family in them gaps. You see what I'm saying? And you can actually get more money. So I have a limit on myself. I don't know what your limit is, or my bottom dollar. My bottom dollar depends on what I'm doing now. You know what I'm saying? But if I'm just regular welding something, my bottom dollar is 22. If I'm welding and fabricating, or welding and ironwork and stuff like that, like a combination of things, it's 25. If I have to use my own rig, then it start going up. Depends on what I'm doing. You see what I'm saying? But if I use my full gas rig, my bottom dollar is 50, and then I go anywhere from 50 to 125. If it's a service call, if it's a high demand, depends on if I got to travel. So it can vary. But if you got all of your equipment and your tools, you see what I'm saying, and your certs, you can change the game for yourself. This is 2018. You don't know how many lazy people who do not have any work ethics, especially in the city of Arizona. If you come in the state of Arizona, if you come to Arizona, Phoenix area, anywhere, Mesa, South, Yuma, anywhere, and you got some real good work ethics, you can eat here. So you can just come visit, in my opinion. If you a journeyman and you want to travel somewhere, you can come here and get a good check and go back home. I'm going to be real with you, so I'm going to give you that game. Just so you know, do some research about the city. The work ethics are terrible. They always needing people. And if you got your own rig, your own search, or you got all your search and you just want to come down and get you a check for 3, 4, 5 months and go back home, you can do it here. Most definitely, I can say that. So, before I end this, I just want to say, check out them staffing agencies. Put yourself out there. Build your resume. You know what I mean? Go online, find someone who done built a good one, and use theirs to kind of copy and trade. However you got to do it. You know what I mean? You got to, learn the system. You know what I mean? Do some hustling. Get yourself out there, but take advantage of all the free sites you can. And that's what I've been doing for a year. Like, I don't have a www dot right now. You see what I'm saying? But I do have different Instagram, Facebook, Craigslist, different little apps where I can put, business ads on. And honestly, that's been feeding me. So I'm not going to try to fix it if it ain't broken. But this year we're here probably next month or so, I have my website officially. But I've been waiting because I wanted to see the market. I wanted to see exactly how I wanted to do it. So I won't be spending vain money, because I did that before. Being an independent music artist, I done spent vain money just thinking that my track was mixed and recorded right, and it wasn't, doing shows wrong, bad promotion. Oh man, the list could go on. So to save yourself the headache, do a little homework, and like I say, any game I got, I don't mind passing it. I just ask, share it with someone. If you know someone that needs this knowledge, just share it with them. I'm not asking for anything. I just want to give something, because at the end of the day, I know the most important thing that I have, and I'm gonna leave you with this. A guy told me this before I left prison. He told me a parable. He told me a little story, and he said, you know what? He said this lady passed, and when she died, this other big preacher that knew her, he had passed too. You know what I'm saying? So he had saved all these millions of people, and he was like, man, why only, I got some people around me, but who is this old lady? I know her, but who is she? Why does she got all of this going on? You know what I mean? And you know what the man said? The man said, that's the lady that was praying for you. You see what I'm saying? That's the lady that was making the sacrifices. That's the lady that was doing initiative. Sometimes the people that shine is not the one that you see in the light. So if I can help you, get over that hump and do something with your life, man, use what I got. Pass it on. Because the best thing that you can take to heaven, the best thing you can take when you leave here is not money, because you can't take that. But you want to be secure while you're here. But the only thing that you can take when you do leave is someone else.